Hi everyone, my name is Jordan Liker, and this is a little bit about my community, Manhattan, Kansas, and the Manhattan-Ogden USD 3D3 school district. Manhattan is definitely a college town, home of Kansas State University, and so a lot of the traditions and school and community events revolve around Kansas State. It's a little bit of a retirement community. We have quite a few individuals that went to Kansas State, um, loved their time there, and then actually retired to the Manhattan community. We also have quite a few individuals that own second homes in Manhattan, and so that plays a role in our property values. And it's also the future home of the National Bio and Agro Defense Facility. It's a multi-billion-dollar facility aimed at protecting national agricultural interests. And so construction is a theme here. It's a growing community. There are a lot of new homes and apartments being built to help accommodate the increased population, especially the growth that's predicted to happen in the near future. Um, we also hold close partnerships with Kansas State and Fort Riley. We have quite a few Kansas State University education students that attend our schools as part of their curriculum at the university level. We have quite a few student teachers on a regular basis. We have quite a few students that their parents are members of the military or work for the military as at Fort Riley. And so many of the community events revolve around K-State and Fort Riley. We have great community support on community improvement projects. It has a history of approving bond issues to help the community and community improvement projects. The city actually partners with the city for some of these projects. We're doing that right now with a gymnasiums that are hopefully going to be built soon, as well as some improvement on trails and sidewalks throughout the community. And the community has repeatedly voted for these improvement issues and improvement bond issues. We have a very diverse community, very diverse student body. Being Kansas State is here, we have students from all over the world that come for education purposes. We have families that move in. Their parents are attending Kansas State or working for Kansas State. And so we have many languages that are spoken in our schools. Um, the main translation service is Spanish, but we have many other languages that are spoken as well. And change is usually embraced here. Change is sometimes difficult, but in the end, families and community members, as well as the teachers and staff, usually embrace these changes. Some of the population characteristics. Uh, we have a community that has a very high education level. We have high numbers of parents with graduate degrees. With Kansas State here, a large number of our parents either work or teach at Kansas State University. Um, so we have very large numbers of advanced degrees in town. But we also have high numbers of parents with a high school diploma or less. And so it's pretty diverse. The largest grades are our lower grades. The elementary school numbers are higher than the secondary upper grade levels, and the community is growing. So the biggest classes that we have are our kindergarten, first grade, and trend continues year after year. And so each year we have more students. The district, right now we educate just under 7,000 students, and it's a pretty evenly split between male and female. Um, we have high numbers of university employees and families with military connections. We have a fairly low unemployment rate of 2.5%, less than the state average. But it's a very diverse community. Um, Kansas State is the most politically diverse campus in Kansas, and the community is similar in that nature. Some of the known communication channels that we have the school website. We have also the ability to send out messages to parents through our gradebook service, some mass messages. Um, as well as social media is utilized by administration mainly. The district also communicates by email, text, phone calls in the event of school closures or community events or notifications. And the local TV, radio, newspapers, they provide news about the school district, and they support and cover athletic events as well as some other school and district events. We have many languages that are spoken. Some translation is needed. This is mainly Spanish translation services, but there are some other ones provided as well. And we partner with through Kansas State to help kind of provide some of those translation services. But many of the individuals we have, while English may not be their first language, they do communicate well through English, and so we don't require the translation services. There are many known community groups. There are athletic groups, both with the school and through the Parks Department, or other entities. We have quite a few extracurricular activity groups: robotics, chess, band, vocal, drama. Some of these are through the school, some of these are through different community groups. The school board and the building leadership teams, they communicate between the school and the community on a regular basis. We have the Flint Hills Bread Basket that provides needed resources for families at times. We have CASA that plays a large role in our community. Big Brothers and Big Sisters. We partner with Big Brothers and Big Sisters as a school and provide after school activities for students. Um, we Big Brothers and Big Sisters actually also partner with the school to help provide the salaries for some of the coaches that we have. So we may offer some more athletic opportunities for students. The district partners with the United Way uh, to help the families of our community. And then the City of Manhattan Parks Department provide a lot of services for our students outside of school, especially during the summertime. Uh, and then we recently passed a large bond issue for the school district. And there were groups that were working for this passage and actually against this passage as well. The leadership of the community, uh, as far as the school district, it begins with the superintendent and the assistant superintendent, the school board, the principals throughout the schools. They play a large role in the leadership. The NEA of the district plays a large role. That it has a bigger role than other districts that I have been a part of. Our technology director plays a large role in some of the decisions that are being made on the implementation of new technology around the district, as well as the directors of the Big Brothers and Big Sisters that our school partners with. They help provide some funding for different programs in our school. And finally, we have the Kansas State University upper administration, coaches. Uh, they kind of govern some of the things about Kansas State, and since it is a college town, um, some of the decisions that they made end up affecting the schools as well. And then finally, the alumni. The alumni offer scholarships and rewards for students and teachers, so they definitely play a role in the community. Some of the characteristics of the leaders that we have, I mean, it's calm and supportive for sure. They gather all the information relevant before making decisions. They don't make snap decisions. Uh, they want to support the staff and make decisions that are best for students. They support that while we're going through right now a lot of changes and a lot of new initiatives are being undertaken. We're taking small steps of that. If we can't do it all at once, that's okay. Take some small steps and we'll build on it year after year. They support and encourage financially responsible actions. um, we want to make sure that we are using the taxpayers' dollars wisely. We're good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. And our leaders come from very diverse backgrounds with multiple connections. Some of these are military connections or political connections, connections within the state of Kansas and outside of the state. Our superintendent recently came from Iowa, so he's bringing some connections in that otherwise we would not have. The economic conditions of Manhattan, it's a growing community. Um, there's a lot of construction right now. The district currently has about a $94 million annual budget. And being that we have a lot of construction, a lot of uh, homes that are maybe even second homes for people, we have property values that are higher than the state average. And so we have local revenues, a local tax base that we can generate some of that money from. So our local revenues account for about $30 million of our budget. State revenues about 53 and federal about 8. The economy of Manhattan is heavily dependent on Kansas State University and Fort Riley. Some others play a significant role. The agricultural industry. So we have some construction industry, textile manufacturing in town as well that play a significant role. We have a low unemployment in town, but there's wide ranges in income. We have income that ranges in the millions for families to some that are very low towards minimum wage. Um, we do have higher property values and taxes than many counties in Kansas. In fact, homes sell in Manhattan for an average of about 50,000 more than the state average. Uh, this can create some some issues on school boundaries. Certain families want to attend certain schools, and so certain families want to attend certain schools, and so they this can raise the property values in certain areas of town. And school attendance boundaries may need to be redrawn in the future as new construction is being built. Certain schools are getting more students than other areas, and so we may need to redraw some of these boundaries. It's a it's a politically diverse community, but the community has a history of supporting the school. The community just passed a $130 million bond issue, and the current board members, are very supportive in school improvement efforts. The district mill levy has increased over the past several years. We've gone up by almost 12 and a half mils over the past 13 years, but we're still lower than many of the comparable districts across the state of Kansas. And our local state representation, it's split on their support for schools, and this split is kind of down party lines, um, but it kind of follows the community as well. Some of the social tensions that exist in my community. I mean, we don't really have any serious gang issues. There are some socioeconomic issues. Some of the occasional issues regarded to race or cultural differences. Although the community is very accepting, we have a very culturally diverse community, and so overall, the community and the student body are very accepting. Where someone lives in town can be a status symbol, and so we do have families that move to certain areas to attend certain schools around town. Some of these sources of information that we have the school website, the City of Manhattan and the Community Development. Uh, it provides some information for individuals or families that move into the community. The Chamber of Commerce can provide information on local businesses. The school board also publishes their board minutes after each meeting. We have meetings twice a month, and the meetings are actually broadcast live on a local TV station or TV channel. And the newspaper and local radio, they provide coverage of the school events, um, especially the athletic events. They broadcast the play-by-play of the athletic events um, live. The Some of the power struggles in the district. Uh, there can be power struggles between the state and the local school districts right now. This is not untrue of my community. And then there's some power struggles that can develop between the building and district leadership teams, um, and the and the teachers of the different buildings, as well as the technology department. The technology department makes some decisions that affect the teachers, students, and so if they make a decision that is not as popular for one reason or another, it can definitely have raise some tensions across the district. And sometimes the district and building leadership visions are different than that of the staff, and so that can have some tensions at times. Some of the multicultural issues that we have is that English is not the first language of many members of the community and students in the school system. Um, but many of those times that while English is not the first language, they do communicate well with English, so translation services are not needed. But sometimes we do need to provide some translation services for families and community members. Many individuals of the community have a military background, being Fort Riley very close. We have quite a few individuals that enjoyed this community and actually retired here after their military career. Uh, and we have quite a few individuals of the community that work or are currently in the military at Fort Riley. And so the schools must take into account the vast backgrounds and cultures of the students and families, and they do a great job of that. And as well as the school dress code, from all these multicultural backgrounds, we have dress codes that are enforced but are fair for all cultural issues. The community is politically is kind of a center to a left-leaning community. There have been some truancy issues in the past, but steps are being taken to reduce these truancy issues in the future. The administration has met with the district attorneys to plea for their continued support and additional support in truancy issues, to make sure that students attend school on a regular basis. That this district also has a school resource officer that can contribute input on legal issues regarding to student behavior, um, that can include things like fights or drugs. And the district also has policies in place for the communication between parents and coaches. We can communicate between teachers and parents as well. And we actually set up several meetings. Parents may request it or teachers may request it, um, that deal with meetings between parents and teachers to discuss either student behavior or progress on a regular basis. When measuring public opinion, community surveys are sent out to gather information regarding uh, community need, especially when we have bond issues. And the school communicates with local businesses on their needs for future employees. And the district has offered new classes in recent years based on student desires. And then the school departments and leadership teams can they often discuss how to incorporate community desires into the school and the curriculum, so we can increase the satisfaction of all stakeholders. Public opinion surveys. During major projects that we have had, the district brings in experts to evaluate and provide expert answers on the needs of the community and to community concerns. We have the major methods of getting out information or gaining information is online surveys, community meetings that are held, and then the district leadership, they also make themselves available to stakeholders on an as needed basis to hear concerns that may arise. Thanks for watching.